Okay, we're back with former Governor of New Mexico, Gary Johnson, and it's been a very engaging conversation. I appreciate his time here at SRLC 2010. The man has led an interesting life from a political perspective. He's a former business owner, creator. He knows how to generate jobs and revenue. He served 2 terms as governor and could not serve a third due to the laws of that state. So he is a practicer of term limits. Before the break, we were talking about the horrible financial burdens that our country has been placed under, and with regard to health care, but there's also other burdens that could happen. Health care is just one of the many cards that this administration wants to play. I was hugely against cap and trade, as most people with a brain are, but the left side of the aisle tends to paint with a broad brush conservatives as being anti-conserving. They think we want to burn, factory coal and run gas engine, yada, yada, yada. They don't think we want to conserve. I think we're all for conservation. It's this whole cap and trade farce. So can you tell me about your thoughts on cap and trade?
Well, first of all, the notion that we should reduce carbon emissions, I think that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen from a technological standpoint. Mm-hmm. I think it's well proven that good economies result in good environmental practice, cleaner environmental practice. The energy that we're consuming today is so much cleaner than what it was 50 years ago.
Right.
But we're consuming that much more also. So I think that's going to happen. I think that the notion of imposing a tax on carbon would really be devastating to our economy, and don't support it at all. I just think that it's really wrong-headed, and the notion that energy prices would go up 25% overnight as a result of cap and trade, really is really scary. I've also seen it estimated that this would be the largest single tax instigated on the American public. It would be a $1 trillion plus tax.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Now, tying to that, your thoughts on global warming. I know you're a fan of skiing, so you like snow. You think that man is causing temperature change, or is that something else?
Do you know, for the sake of argument, I'm going to say global warming is happening and that it's man-caused. Okay. All right, just for the sake of argument. That said, I think the effects of global warming are grossly exaggerated. And I think the amount of money that we would be spending on preventing global warming is really an insane amount of money that could be applied to real environmental issues like clean water, disease, the prevention of disease in the world. Spending money in those ways that would really have a positive impact on humankind, as opposed to really negligible, if even measurable, results from what we would spend on elimination of global warming.
Totally understand that. So, there's concerns about polar ice caps melting, and we see that the north cap might be melting, the southern polar caps are growing. The question I've always posed to folks that disagree with me is that if we are causing the warming, what caused the previous escapes from ice ages? So we've had ice ages before, and the Earth came out of them before. The polar caps on Mars, they fluctuate in size, and there's no hummers or cows or people up there. So I think
plate tectonics.
Yes.
The notion of South America and Africa splitting. Would we be engaged in? Are we engaging ourselves in the prevention of the
tectonic movement?
Earth phenomenon here?
It's just. I don't think it's going to happen. So speaking of plate tectonics, that creates mountains. And I was told that you have climbed Mount Everest.
I have.
And you have a goal of climbing all the 7 big peaks.
Yeah, seven highest mountains on each continent. So I've done 4 of those.
You've done 4. Okay.
I've done 4 of those.
You're in your 50s.
I'm in my 50s.
When did you climb Everest?
So when I was 50 years old. So right after I was through being governor of New Mexico, I went to Nepal and was fortunate enough to get to the top.
Wow, because there is a special, there was a series on one of the HD channels that we get, and I became completely enthralled in what it takes to do that. I could never do it. I'm a guy that likes sitting on my couch and eating food. You apparently are very athletic. You just recently completed, I want to say, the Bridgeathon. Is it a 2-day skiing event?
Ridgeathon, yeah,
okay.
Ridgeathon.
So where did that take place?
Taos, New Mexico. It's where I live, so I hike and ski. And actually, really a pretty grueling 2-day competition. How many ski runs can you hike and ski? 10 runs being in the competition.
I get tired saying
you got to cycle all 10, start over
again.
It's like
a winter triathlon kind of thing? Or?
Well, no, it's a hike and ski.
Hike and ski, okay.
Hike and ski.
Is it cross country?
No, alpine skiing.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Alpine skiing. So
I want to get back to Everest if I could for a second, just because I've never spoken with someone that's done that. That's an amazing thing. People make their life goals to do this. And on the special, I learned that there are different camps, and you get acclimated to the different altitudes.
Yep.
Camp 1, Camp 2, Camp 3. And then I guess you're evaluated to see if you're worthy of going to the next level. They check your health and things of that sort.
Well, by check. I was on an expedition where 3 of us paid for the expedition. But you're exactly right, Paul. It was going up, coming back down, going up a little bit higher, staying a little bit longer, coming back down. We did that 6 times.
Wow.
And that was to acclimatize and to really make sure that you would be ready when Summit finally rolled around.
Now, there is a section near, I think in the final part of the climb, there's like an icy ridge. It's really thin. Am I saying that correctly?
You might have watched something on the North Face. We went up the south side, which had the ice fall at the beginning. So we had this ice fall, 1.5 mile ice fall at the beginning that was really pretty dangerous. A frozen river that statistically was moving downhill at the rate of 8 inches a day. So between the first and last time we went through the ice fall, it changed 50% because of collapse.
Wow.
So it was really pretty dangerous.
And one thing at the top, for the folks that did make it, there's a bunch of flags or scarves or something up there. Is it a tradition to bring a scarf or something to place there?
No, not a tradition at all. And, there were things at the top when we got up there, but we didn't leave anything. And we brought down more than what we would have brought up, trying to get the garbage off of Everest also.
Oh, goodness. So how long could you actually stay at the peak?
We were up for 45 minutes. We started at 10 o'clock p.m. at night. This was on summit day.
Okay.
And I actually got to the summit at around 7 a.m., spent about 45 minutes at the top. And then
how
came
long
back
was
down.
that particular part of the hike? How many feet did you travel on summit day? How many meters?
So it would have been from 20, so about 3,000 feet.
Okay, so
from 26,000 to...
And was it harder than you thought? Was it?
It was more dangerous than what I thought. Now, I know that sounds kind of silly, but going through the ice fall and the fact that there was so much collapse going on, it was kind of surprising. And then I read all the stories. To be in places where you knew that all sorts of people had died and that anything could happen. It ended up making for a great experience. And maybe I'm saying that because I did get to the top, but I did get to the top.
The two folks that were
life is a journey; it's not a destination. But as I point out, I'll be damned if we didn't actually get to the top.
That is something you can. I mean, you've just shared with a lot of folks. That's an amazing feat. I'm just humbled in your presence.
Oh, no.
So I guess,
and another thing was, people say, "Well, you conquered Everest." No. she lifted her skirt and gave us a peek. It was kind of cool.
So what are the other peaks that you've already done?
So I've done McKinley, in Alaska, North America. Elbrus in Europe, and Kilimanjaro in Africa. So I have Karsten's Pyramid in New Guinea, which is Australasia. I have Vincent in Antarctica, and Aconcagua in South America.
And are those in the radar for any time soon?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do this before my life's out, but there's no rush. There is no rush.
It is the journey, not the end.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much, Mr. Johnson, Governor Johnson. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. As I said at the beginning, my first interview, my first day at SRLC, my first week of the new station that we just founded. I am not a professional radio guy. I'm a homeschooling soccer dad. I've got a computer job during the day, and you have made me feel very comfortable. I am so grateful for you stopping by.
The other way around. And I look forward to doing it again. Thanks.
Thank you so very much.
All right.